change, the more they remain the same.
One of the main things that bothers me is like when I get on the train, like if it's crowded and people see me, they like move away. Mainly, mainly white people, Asian or something, they grab their bags and like, I know that some black people, they rob some, but not every black man robs and steals.
You got white men and Puerto Rican men and Chinese men and Asian. You got everybody. Everybody has a certain menace of their society, you know what I'm saying? And the one that really gets picked out is the black man, you know what I'm saying? We're like the international menace, as it is said, you know?
To me, I wouldn't rob nobody. I don't need to rob nobody. That's not in my nature. I never robbed nobody in my life, but it hurts me that I have to get on the train and people think that I will rob them, And then I got to see that every day, and that stress and that you seeing that all the time, it bothers you, and it puts a stress on you that, then it gets you angry, then you want to approach the person like, I'm not going to rob you, I'm not going to touch you, I'm not going to do nothing to you, but it doesn't make sense to do that, and start a whole big thing, so I brush it off, but it gets to you after a while, it gets to you.
Not to justify or protect myself, but about what I'm gonna say, but I'm just gonna start by saying that I'm not racist against any person in any way. But maybe it's from growing up in the city. I know how things go on, I know what goes on. So I know if I'm walking down the street and being white myself, I'm the only guy walking down the street, and say I see a black group over there, right on the corner or whatever, like a whole hoodlum group, like just kicking and hanging out, whatever. But I know just by the feeling that I get from them, being all black maybe, and I'm just white, that I walk on the other side of the street just to protect myself, Just to look out for myself. It could be a racist thing that's in the back of my head that comes out at that moment, like a maybe survival technique or something that I learned or picked up. But that's just what happens. I try to protect myself by staying away from people that I see could hurt me. I've seen racism both ways. I've seen it whites against blacks, and I've also seen blacks against me. I don't know what, just because I'm white, they think that you're a herb, they think you're a sucker, that they can get over on you. They're like, oh, yo, let's go get this herb white boy over there. So they go up to you and they're like, yo, you got $1, you got money? And you're like, nah, I don't got nothing. They're like, yo, let me get a ride on your skateboard, let me get a ride on your skateboard. You're like, nah, break out. So you start walking away. They come up to you, they're like, give me a skateboard. So I just fight back, I just protect myself. That's it. If someone's gonna get in my face, then I'm gonna go right back. And that's it, no matter if they're black, white, or anything. I don't care what color, whatever. I'm just gonna go for myself.
People stereotype you and look at you crazy, and there's a lot of racism going on. You never know who's gonna try to get you because you're a different color or just because you stay on this side of town or that side of town. They just recognize us as being people who sell crack and drive-by shootings on each other and beat up each other. But really, they need to investigate and see, what young black men are really going through, the struggles that they go through day-to-day life. Instead of just downing him because he's out there selling crack cocaine. All right, he's selling crack cocaine, but why is he selling crack cocaine? That's the question. What problems drove him to do that? It's poverty right here in the streets of the United States. This supposed to be the home of the free. I mean, you see a lot of poverty around here. People just giving up on life.
Crack, that's a black person's disease, man. That isn't this white people's disease. You don't come into our neighborhood and start throwing drugs like, crack or ice or coke and all that. You don't come in throwing that, in our face. If you want, just keep it in your black neighborhood, and let, that's it. Let it happen there. There's no reason for it here. What I feel about black people is, I look at it this way. You take a disease, okay? When you have a disease, like, let's say cancer, it eats slowly, okay? Now, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna try to stop the disease, or are you gonna let it spread? Don't get me wrong. There are some good black people. There's hardworking black people. Then you got scum. You also got white scum, too. You also got Spanish scum, too. But most of all, you got that nigga scum, you know?
Inside me, it's like I'm a real angry person. I may come across strong, but I'm like a real angry person of how blacks get treated. And it's 2 words that somebody outside my race can call me that just snap something in me, just make me want to kill them, and that's boy and nigger.
When they call you a nigga, it's like you get pumped, you know, you get mad, because you don't nobody, I mean, tell you the truth, that's everyday life is you call your partner like I call him nigga, you know, that's the way it is out here. But like, yeah, you know, it's like, I guess you could say it's another word for bro or homeboy or something.
It's like a black thing. Nobody outside your race really shouldn't do that, call you all that. You don't want to be called that, just let people know.
Each other that, but
You really shouldn't, but like, it's a habit, it's something that's in you.
It's a habit you gotta
like,
break.
I heard a couple of y'all slip up.
I don't mean to like come at you. If it's against your race, so could I just walk to you and say, what's up, my spook?
nah.
No. I mean, you don't want none of that. That's negative. I don't want nigga,
Right.
spook, coon, nothing. My brother, young man,
Black
partner,
man.
if anything. Whatever. I don't want nigga. You didn't make that word. That word is given to us. So why would I want to present myself to that even as a joke?
Those shirts that say it's a black thing and you wouldn't understand.
Yeah, that's one
I don't
thing, too.
understand. I
It's like,
admit it, I don't understand, but I don't really want to understand it because that's like,
Or like, let me understand,
Yeah.
explain it to me.
It's weird in that sense because it's like justified for black people to be really proud to be black,
Yeah.
you know? It's like black
Exactly.
is beautiful, I'm black, I'm bad, you know? But if a white person
if I was
wants to
wearing
do
a
that,
shirt, it's just all it's a white
automatically
thing. You wouldn't
you're
understand.
labeled as a racist. What I always constantly get, what are you doing here? What are you doing in this part of town, white girl? Like that, you know? It's like I live here. And it just, I don't know, it just really, it kind of hurts too, just people automatically thinking that I'm racist, you know, just walking down the street, not doing anything.
Racism is still alive in America today, and it's strong. You know, it's just put in the back, you know, so people won't know it, but it's still alive in everyone's community. And now it's not just with the blacks and the whites. You have your racism against your Mexicans, your Japanese, your Koreans. We still have to fight extra harder, you know, than the normal white person just to get a job, just to get an apartment, you know, just to get a car.
We are still looked at as 3/5 of people. Back in 1865, they said that jive, and they're still talking the same thing. Politically, ain't a damn thing changed.
I don't feel special to be white. I don't feel privileged to be white. And I don't feel privileged to be white in America.
There are a lot of stereotypes on whites as well.
Yeah,
you know, every white male is rich, and every white male, you know, has this. Well, besides the, you know, white men can't jump or whatever. Every white male, you know, has this certain, you know, expectation from, I think, from a lot of other groups. And it's not true. You know, not all of us are rich.
I feel like that there is more advantage being a minority right now. In this time, you know, the schools, education systems are looking for a lot of mixed cultures, and I feel like definitely that when they look at the application and they look at the color of your skin, that's a major factor in deciding who's going to go to their college next year.
I think the image should be dispelled that we should feel bad because we're white, that it's our fault that there's racism in the world because it's a universal thing.
I don't know how I feel about white people, you know that? Because I know so many beautiful white people, you know, and then I've seen and I've experienced that the people who are running this country, which are predominantly white, are messing up. And I don't think that it's by mistake. You know what I'm saying? I mean, who built the nuclear bombs? Who's the head of all these corporations who's like destroying our ozone layer? You know, who's ruining our environment? We need for the people in charge, which are mostly the white people, to really look and open their eyes and say, oh my God, you know, what is happening here? There is a problem. We're not being represented equally. If this country truly is a melting pot, why are there so few people employed in the White House that are of color? You know what I mean? Why is that? I mean, God, how could you represent me if you don't know me?
Okay, got the idea?
Well, I hardly ever see Asians on television. I hardly ever see Latinas. I see more African Americans, but the majority of images that I've seen, that I've grown up with, are white images. And it's and unconsciously, I don't know if there's a person out there saying, yeah, you know, white is better, white is more beautiful. There might be someone, but I don't know. But I know that the effect is, there's an unconscious effect where I start to think, you know what, I don't really look like that person, and maybe because I don't look like that person, I'm sort of worse. You know, I'm not as beautiful. I can tell you, my cousin had, she got her eyelids. Have you heard of the eyelid surgeries? Where Asian women who are naturally born without the crease, artificially, you know, operate on themselves, and you know, spending thousands of dollars so that they can have a stupid line, enfolding their eyes so that they can, the Americanized eyes, you know. Maybe they believe that if they have that operation, their life will be better. If they have that operation, their life will be better because they'll look more like the ideal person that you're supposed to be, who is, you know, in our society anyways, is white and blonde and beautiful and etc. Barbie.
My thing is, like, if your white skin is so beautiful, why do you go to the beach and burn yourself to a crisp trying to get brown if it's so wonderful to be white? And if you love your thin lips, why are you going to the doctor getting collagen injected and telling me my lips are too big? Don't, you know, that's my thing. That trips me out whenever, you know, white girls come to me, oh, your butt is so big. And it's like, well, why do you go get on that stair stepper at Holiday Health Spa trying to get your butt as big as mine? If being white is so wonderful, I don't understand why all these white teenagers don't stay white.
Those immigrants from all over the country. In the early, when the first immigrants came to here, they came from.
I don't ever slow up, no, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this,
He's doing like this, so they must be saying something good about me. They think all Asians speak one language. That's what they think. And when they're going by, they're going choing, yoing, yoing, yoing. And I said, what? That really makes me mad. We don't talk like that, you know? I know we don't talk like that, and they think we do, because the way they sound to them, that's what it sounds like to them. All the minorities that I know today is going exactly the same as I went to, making fun of, knowing not much English, you know? And when I see people making fun of them, I say, that's not funny, you know? They're trying to work as hard as they can.
People come up to me and say, oh, New York has this, New York is that, the land of opportunity. You could do so much. Like when you get off the plane, you're expecting so many things to happen, like opportunities are gonna knock down your door. But it ain't like what the movie screens or TV and everything is showing you. You gotta fight for what you want. It's like you're out there to take care of your own self. And you're expecting so much to happen when you get off that plane that when you actually see what's going on, you realize like this is all talk. My trip over here wasn't really worth it. And a lot of people start taking that mentality and they start giving up hope.
When you get to know how America treats you, you treat it as an animal. You know, you're not treated equally. You're not treated as all the other white people are being treated. You're not even treated as some Asian peoples are being treated.
Every day when you go out your house, you see people going like this because they don't know if they're going to come back home for their families. You could get shot, you could get hit by a car, you could get jumped for no apparent reason. Times have changed and I feel better.
Oh, shit. Shit.
They playing us all, man. You know what I'm saying? We just sitting like on a big chessboard, man. They just move us around and laughing about it. And then if you look behind that person that's doing that, man, I swear to God, I really think that racism is on the dollar bill, man. Everybody's doing everybody in for the money, regardless. You know what I'm saying? That's where it is. That's racism right there. If you ain't got $1 in your pocket, then you are considered to be lower in race, man.
The people who have power are the people who can be racist. I mean, if you don't have power, what can you do? And who are the people who have power in this country? European American people.
You could get a job at a factory, but you can't own the factory.
Right.
So, you know, this is a racist country, period.
I know living here has made me long for the day when I can live in a city where, you know, look down the street and you're going to a store and the cashier will definitely be African American. Where I live everywhere and just the people making the money, supplying the money will be African American. I'm tired, you know, of going to Lloyd Center and seeing mostly, you know, white American people. I guess I want to know what it feels like to live in a world just full of me.
It just ain't no sunshine.
We're drastically different. It goes beyond skin. It goes into genetics. I mean, it goes into the functions of our body. It goes into the sizes of our muscles and our limbs and our brain size and the way we think, the way we perceive, the way we create.
But they're going to go by force. They have had their chance to desegregate, to leave our neighborhoods. They haven't gone. They're going to go by force.
We are facing extinction. And just as a wolf, when its children are threatened, it will do anything to ensure the survival of its children.
We're declining in birth rates. Okay, our population is going down while blacks, Hispanics, Asians, their birth rates are soaring. It's incredible.
It's been publicized in every major publication that by the different dates, 2000, 2040, 2020, 2010, that the whites will be a minority.
They've had their chance to leave. We've warned them. We've just asked for our own nation where we can, you know, promote white culture, white ideals, white history, and they haven't given it to us, so now we're going to take it.
You have your land, you have your people, and you want to protect that, and you will protect that at any cost.
In 10 years, I'll either be dead, incarcerated by the government, or living in an all-white country.
Amen.
And that's fine with me. That's the only way I want it.
What is hate? Well, hate, let me tell you what's hate. What happened to Yusef Hawkins, that was hate. That's how I define hate. What happened to Michael Griffin, that's hate. What happened to Rodney King, that's hate. That's how I define hate. The deeds of what the so-called white men did to our people. What happened to Eleanor's bumpers, Michael Griffiths, Michael Stewart, that's hate. What happened to us when we came on cargo slave ship, packed up like a bunch of sardines, that's hate. I want to see vengeance, justice. That's what you call payback. Reap what you sow, what goes around comes around. That's what every so-called black man in America should want to see too. The payback of their enemy. Our people have been treated wrongly by the so-called white man ever since we've been in this country. We have been degraded, called nigger, wetback, spook, spade, monkey. We have been degraded. See, and that's why it's time for the so-called black man to stand up for what is right. So what I want to see is the destruction of the whole white race.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant not guilty of the crime.
We're going to take you live now to South Central Los Angeles. There is violence going on. These are people upset. Great.
There used to be a beauty supply, and the people here were really friendly. It was owned by an African-American lady, and next to that, I think, was my mom's store, I think, which goes down right there. What's left of it. I think we're just innocent victims, like everybody else. And you can't blame a specific person or individual. What you have to realize is that if the system had given everybody fair and equal representation from the beginning, none of this would have happened.
It's been too long that we've been ignored.
Still prefer their kids to be in a class of their own.
I'd say my father is definitely one of the more prejudiced people I know. Not that he's like, going around putting everyone down, but he's not like open to anyone else but his kind. I talk to him, I'm like, what has anyone ever done to you? And if so, if one black person harmed you, does that mean the rest of the entire race is out to get you? And he'll say, just look at me and just say, Alexis, when you've lived for 50 years, right now you're going through your little liberal hippie stage, but when you've lived for 50 years, you come back and talk to me and you'll see. And that's what I put up with.
It's like my mom went to a segregated school. She doesn't know about what's going on in school now. And all my uncles, none of my relatives know what's going on. You know something that's really funny? If I was to ever date one black girl, just one, all of my family would disown me. My whole family, not my mother, not my father, but the rest of my family would disown me. That is what keeps racism alive. It goes on generation after generation.
I'm Chinese, and my parents always stressed me to not get involved with anyone else that's not Chinese. Yeah. And it's kind of hard for me to do that because I like people that are different.
If I was to bring an Asian girl to my house, my dad would probably think that she might be a little strict and she might not be my style. But if I was to bring an African-American girl over to my house, my dad would think that I'd be incredibly disappointed with the outcome of the relationship.
Well, actually, right now, I like a Caucasian person, but I don't think he's able to deal with the fact that a black girl likes him. I think a lot of racism starts within the home. You know, I think his parents are really, you know, I don't think he should ever date a black person.
A long time ago, it was accepted to be a racist. It was accepted, you know, to have a quote-unquote nigger as your slave. And, you know, it's been passed along, and some people didn't accept the change. And when they didn't accept it, their children didn't accept it because they were brought up, you know, by parents who didn't accept it.
That's where they teach their kids, and their kids teach their kids, and that's the generations start right there with the racism. And I think if everybody just accepted people for how they are instead of what they look like on the outside, the world would be a lot more peaceful.
Mud and grime on my favorite shirt. It's my brother's fault. It collects so much dirt.
Oily, icky stains, well, well, well. Mama lifts them out with A-L-L. Liquid All's the stain lifter. Pour it on and you'll see. All's got the power to make stains history.
Every time my brother makes a mess out of me, Mama lifts them out with A-L-L.
That's all, the stain lifter.
That's all.
Kraft Singles taste better because they're made from 5 ounces of milk. How do they do that?
See? They take the slice and make it into a rocket. Then they shoot it to the Milky Way. And when it gets back, it's busted with milk.
More milk means better taste, and every Kraft Single is made from 5 ounces of milk. Unlike imitation cheese made mostly with oil and water.
It looks like the moon.
Milk makes Kraft Singles taste better.
K-R-A-F-T. Want me to tell it again?
They'll be home soon. Why not serve the side dish they all love? Remember what it is? Does that ring a bell? Rice-A-Roni.
The San Francisco tree.
We've heard some of you are waiting for a rice-a-roni with a bit less salt. Well, here you go. Introducing a rice-a-roni with a third less salt and lots of great taste. Good thing there's plenty to go around.
The San Francisco tree.
No little cinnamon gum freshens breath longer than Big Red.
So kiss a little longer, hug a little longer, stay close a little longer with Big Red. That Big Red freshness lasts right through it. Your fresh breath goes on and on. While you chew and say goodbye a little longer, make it last a little longer. Give your breath long-lasting freshness with Big Red.
A lot of people make the mistake of thinking that education is something that happens only in school, that when you get your diploma, that's it.
Sometimes it's really tough to not be prejudiced, because there are times when, hey, I can be real biased and just be real set and just say, hey, and I'll sit here and look at myself going, what am I saying? Why am I saying this? And you can't help it sometimes, because you get real frustrated. Because you look at it and you're like, well, I was here first, and there's no difference. There really isn't. And do I have as much right or more right to be here than does a black American, a Hispanic American, an Asian American, or so forth? No. They have as much right to be here as I do.
If immigrants don't belong here, they won't be America. Because America is United States, right? It's mean united people here. All kind of races, all kind of people, different colors, no matter what.
like black people, the way they talk is kind of a little bit funny. Because sometimes they're always using the man, dude, or those kind of funny words, just trying to, like, I got a classmate who's black, and he always say funny stuff. And sometimes, every time he speak, I just laugh, because the way he speak is totally different from the way I speak, and the way everyone speak.
Man, dude.
They enjoy using mama and brother.
Yeah.
No, really, I'm not trying to say anything, but they like to say, what's up, brother?
Like some white or some other group of like black might think that Asian, like they're always like quiet, not being wild, you know, because okay, they've got being wild, but we all, for us, right? We like to be wild too, but we'll be wild in a different way.
You know, everybody is the same. We're all human beings, right? Sometimes we just feel like be wild, and sometimes we want to be quiet and shy. It's different, but we're all human beings.
We see so much color. It's a shame. Why are we seeing color? We don't have to see color. We just see each other as a person. You're a person, he's a person, everybody's a person. And that's the problem today. We see everything as a color and not as, oh, you're a person. We got the same blood. We got arms and legs. We're not clothes. Clothes is a color. You see clothes, you see a shirt, it's red. You don't say, oh, I don't like that because it's red. You take that shirt, you put it on to put it on your body and keep safe and warm. We're people, you know?
I think we all have working to do within ourselves because each one of us is a little racist, even if we don't want to admit it. I think everyone is a little bit racist, no matter what. I think racism comes from a lack of self-respect and not caring enough about yourself. Because if you do it, you have to realize that what you do to other people comes right back to you.
I think is what breaks down fear. When I'm ignorant or when I don't know about something, I tend to sometimes feel afraid of that, or you know, I'm confused about something. But by learning about differences, by being exposed to different experiences, it just opens more doors for my life, and I feel I'll have a more fulfilled life. The more differences, the better.
America was a country created for everybody. It's called the melting pot. It's filled with every single race and culture in the world. I don't understand how anybody could come to this country and act racist. This country is not about racism. This country is about everybody being different, everybody living together. Why anybody that's racist in America should just get out and go to the country that they're from and let them preach racism there, because that's not what this country's about.
and their hands.
I'm just waiting for it to fall off.
When a black girl gets mad,
she yells.
Head. Her neck is like.
You think, and coming from a black point, especially when they get mad at a black male.
Oh, God!
You think they gonna suck their teeth down their throat or something? They be sucking so hard.
The way they hold. No, can I say this? The way they hold their crotch, like. Like it's gonna disappear.
Sometimes it's hard to understand why